It is your role as a second wave volunteer to direct your energies in a conscious manner. And I encourage you to start being aware of the awareness that is flowing in, through, and as you. And it will show you when you are surrendering your energies to anything that does not add or build the whole, the oneness. Hi everybody, welcome to the Light Journal Podcast. I'm Jamie Perez. Today I want to talk about giving away your energy, or another way to look at it, surrendering your energy. As I was meditating this morning, Spirit was really driving home a point that I wanted to share. And it's the idea that just as we are creators by our very nature, we are also always sharing our energies by our very nature. It's impossible not to be giving and receiving energies. But what we don't often realize is that we have the power to choose where we direct our energies, what we build up and what we tear down. Energy is everything. There is nothing that is outside of this energy. What we don't often realize is that this energy is always moving, changing, creating. And we often lose track of the fact that we have some say in what that energy does and how that energy interacts with everything else. Whenever you put your focus on something, that focus is energy. Whenever you do something with your hands, the action of doing is energy, and it's creating something with that energy. But what you may not realize is how often you surrender that control of your energy. You surrender it when your thoughts are captured by something that is not in your best interests. You surrender your energies when you perceive yourself in a way that is harmful or detrimental to you. You surrender your energies to other people all the time because they do something and you watch them. There it goes. There's your energy. You're scrolling on your phone, and what you're doing is you're sending energy into that device and into those things that you're watching. Every time you surrender energy, rather than deliberately directing your energy, you are relinquishing control of your life, of your fate, of your world, of your environment around you. This is what you do every moment of every day by where you put your focus, where you spend your time, what you do with yourself, what you think in your mind. And what I'd really like you to consider is whether or not the things you're focusing on, the things you are surrendering your energy into and thus building up, are the things that you actually want to build up. Now, I've been sick for the last month and a half. You can probably hear it in my voice. I still have some residual respiratory issues. So I've been focusing on my illness. But when you focus on the illness, you're giving energy to the illness. Isn't that an interesting way to look at it? Because I wasn't feeling good, I wasn't wanting to do a lot of the activities and behaviors that I normally do. And so I just kind of retreated into myself and just started reading books, fiction books, just entertainment. And I noticed that I didn't ever get better. It just lingered and lingered and lingered. And it started occurring to me that it was probably because of where I was putting my focus. Everybody around me was getting better, but I wasn't getting better. And this is significant because I'm not somebody who typically gets sick. And I knew something was up with this. And I really have come to believe the reason I've been so sick is because where I was putting my focus. So I was surrendering energy to it, and thus I was prolonging it. I was engaging with it. I was allowing it to continue and continue. This message is only for those to whom it resonates, because I know there are a lot of other people out there who are experiencing the same thing that I'm going through, where you're sick because you're feeding into the sickness your energy of attention, of focus, of feeling bad. You're just focusing in on it, and though it just lingers or it gets worse or whatever. And if this isn't the case for you, if this message does not resonate with you, that just means you have another path, you have another message that you need to listen to, and it's not mine. There's no problem with that, okay? So I don't want to talk just about my illness, though. I want to talk about how this affects us in a multitude of different ways. Every one of us are surrounded by events or thoughts or situations that capture our attention. And when that happens, we have to decide whether or not we're going to surrender our energies to that thing, or if we are going to choose something else to focus our attention on. It's very easy to allow our energies to just feed into our society. When we start really focusing in on it, we're actually feeding it our energy. We're surrendering our energy to the very things that are causing us pain, discomfort, feelings of victimhood, feelings of hopelessness and helplessness. And I don't think that's what any of us really want. Now, sometimes, I'll admit, sometimes people like to see themselves as a victim because it gives them attention, maybe gets them money, maybe gets them funds. You know, some people actually use victimhood because it serves their interests. But for those of you who are feeling like a victim and it doesn't benefit you, and you don't feel like it benefits you, and you want to get out of that, the way to do it is to rise above and to recognize what is happening simply is what is happening. It is what it is. Okay? To rise above it, and then as we see it with the greater clarity of the bird's eye view of rising above, then we can look at the whole and we can decide where we want to direct our energies. It's too easy for us to get caught up in all the things that make us different and cease to recognize all the things that make us the same. We are all human beings sharing a planet with a bunch of other sentient beings. And it is our unity that needs to be the center of our focus. It is our unity that needs to be where we direct our energies. We, especially those who are part of the second wave of volunteers, really need to be consciously directing our energies towards peace, unity, wholeness, love. It seems that everywhere we turn, people are focusing their energies and thus building the energies of division, of separateness, of grievances against others. And what is important? Our unity, our wholeness, the way in which all of us interact with one another in a way that is designed ultimately to bring balance and harmony back to the earth. All of us have this creative capacity, but especially those who are part of the second wave of volunteers. You need to be conscious of what you are thinking, where you are placing your focus, how you are spending your time. All of these things direct your energies into them and build them up. As second wave volunteers, you have a lot of additional energies that are flowing through you, that are specifically designed to bring humanity into this new awareness, this new level of existence. We as a whole, and we as our individual parts, need to be unified on this concept, on this principle, that we are creators. Every single person on the planet is a creator, whether you recognize it or not. And where you place your focus, what you do with your time, what you think in your mind, what you say with your words, these are all energies. And so the way to counteract the building up of energies that separate and divide and bring suffering and isolation and pain to the world is to start speaking the words of love, of unity, of harmony, of health, of oneness. Thinking those things, speaking those things, acting out those things, and refusing to surrender your attention and time to the things that divide us. I'm telling you right now, you are so incredibly powerful. Especially those who are the second wave of volunteers. You are very, very powerful and very, very influential. And you need to use that power, use that influence to bring about this harmonic wave of energy. And I want to encourage you to no longer surrender your energies to the thoughts, to the words, to the actions of separation, grievances, bitterness, division, and fear and isolation. These do not belong within your wheelhouse. These are not yours to engage in on an energetic level. It is your role as a second wave volunteer to direct your energies in a conscious manner. And I encourage you to start being aware of the awareness that is flowing in, through, and as you, and it will show you when you are surrendering your energies to anything that does not add or build the whole, the oneness. I am here to be a voice that reminds you, you are awareness. All you have to do is align with it, and you will know the awareness. It flows in, through, and as you at all times. You just have to tap into it. You just have to tune into it, just like you do with the radio. Just tune into it, and then let the awareness flow through you. And when you do, you can rise above all the chaos and all the noise and all the distractions that are causing you to leak energy where you do not want it to go. And when you rise above, then you can see the whole. And when you see the whole, that's where you feed your energy into the oneness itself, into the unity of the whole. Be the awareness that you are. Tap into the power that is flowing in, through, and as you. so that we can collaborate and participate in the creation of a new reality. A reality without separation, a reality without suffering. If you're part of the second wave and you want to be part of this, contact me on my Facebook page. And if enough people are interested in being a part of this, I will create a private group for us to discuss what that means and how Spirit is guiding us to move forward from here. I'm Jamie Perez with the Light Journal Podcast. Thanks for listening. Blessings on your journey, everyone.